Welcome to this week's episode of Maroon TV News. I'm Liz Stark.
And I'm Mike Basilio.
And here are this week's top stories. Star Wars director George Lucas has donated $25 million to the University of Chicago Laboratory Schools to fund a new arts hall. The hall will be named after Gordon Parks, an influential photographer and director who lived in Chicago in the 1930s. The Gordon Parks Arts Hall, slated to open in 2015, will include new performance halls, studios, and a digital media lab. Lucas hopes that the hall will inspire future generations of students to engage in the arts.
A group of over 500 UChicago alumni signed a petition protesting the university's sexual assault policy. The petition, sent to University President Robert Zimmer, follows an announcement stating that UChicago will be placed under investigation by the U.S. Board of Education's Office of Civil Rights because of a possible university violation of Title IX. The petition asserts that the signatories will not give their resources to university that still fall short in addressing sexual assault issues. Violations of Title IX by the university could restrict funds from the Department of Education and affect financial availability.
The Kappa Alpha Theta sorority hosted a pre-event on Thursday for the upcoming Mr. University show. The pre-event featured a Mardi Gras celebration with New Orleans food, live jazz, and face painting. The event gave students the opportunity to meet and sponsor the Mr. U candidates. Mr. U is the sorority's philanthropy event, which raises funds for court-appointed special advocates. The show will be on Thursday, March 6th.
On Tuesday, Arrested Development star Jason Bateman came to Doc Films to screen and chat about his upcoming comedy, Bad Words. It was a standing room only event, and our Alex Soteropoulos was there for the report.
The Max Bolevsky Cinema at Ida Noyes Hall was the place to be on Tuesday night when renowned actor and now director Jason Bateman visited Doc Films. The line stemmed from the steps of the Max Bolevsky Cinema, looped several times in the Ida Noyes lobby, before finally twirling into the Ida Noyes Library, all for Jason Bateman. Formerly known as Michael Bluth from Arrested Development, Bateman partnered with Campus Circle and Doc Films for a special discussion of Bad Words, the upcoming film Bateman stars in and directs.
It was kind of refreshing to see an audience of just students on a Tuesday night, school night, 9 p.m., staying almost till midnight for a Q&A to see a film.
As ecstatic as the UChicago community was to interact with Bateman in person, they first saw him on the large screen, playing a middle-aged middle school dropout who enters the National Spelling Bee.
It was good. It was funny. It was really fun. Honestly, my favorite part was being in a huge, filled to capacity room with other UChicago students doing something that's really special for us. I've never gotten to do this, and I don't think anyone else has gotten to do something, especially as a community. That was my favorite part.
Bateman offered sound advice to students pursuing film, as well as any other career.
If you really want to do something, there's going to be hurdles, and you might start to hear yourself talk, and you might start to see yourself execute something. If you just step into it, you'll find that you get pretty close to finishing it. You just have to get going, and your body kind of takes over if you're passionate about what you're doing. So do what you're passionate about.
He even gave the crowd a treat by performing his signature chicken dance from Arrested Development.
Jeffrey Tamworth, I think, was the best one. Right? Do you remember that?
The leadership at Doc Films could not have been more impressed by Bateman's personality.
I thought that he was incredibly well-humored. He really knew his audience well, and I just thought that he, given the circumstances, Chicago weather and the time of the event, and the fact that he's on this whole media blitz, he was an incredibly good sport.
Already, Doc Films has hosted 3 cinematic figures in Bateman, Crispin Glover, and Sam Hamm all this quarter.
And that's 3 more than we'd had since the time that I've been here, so I'm hoping we can continue to attract people. And certainly if we can get a few arranged, maybe we'll have some more preview screenings in the future.
The insights that Bateman provided will be something that UChicago students will never forget. From Ida Noyes Hall, I'm Alex Soteropoulos, Maroon TV News.
On Friday, the Council on University Programming held their annual Mardi Gras event, featuring New Orleans-style festivities and a special performance by the one and only Second City Troupe. Sarah Claypool was there for the report.
Friday night, the Council on University Programming sponsored a Mardi Gras event. Ida Noyes was decked out in purple, green, and gold in celebration of Fat Tuesday. Students wore masks and beads in the evening's theme. The evening featured acts such as Second City, Dirt Red Brass Band, and jazz singer Nellie Travis. Other entertainment options included face painting, a fortune teller, and a caricaturist. Hundreds of people came by, and there were festivities late into the night. The attendees were enthusiastic about the event.
I got used to the scene. I come and expect something and then see it not only met but exceeded. So I got food, I got drink, I saw some performances. It was good.
Music and food, and it's Mardi Gras. Why would you not go? I don't understand.
Coop's next event will be next week's dance marathon.
I'm Sarah Claypool at Ida Noyes for Maroon TV News.
The Zombie Readiness Task Force launched their Winter Humans vs. Zombies game this week. Students use bandanas to signify their status as a zombie or a human, and humans use Nerf guns in order to hold zombies at bay. For the first time in the game's history, the HVZ website features a map that tracks the location of kills on campus. Check out the map and other real-time statistics at uchicagohvz.org.
While HVZ satisfied students' hunger for brains, UChicago students craving knowledge about the brain participated in Neuro's Brain Awareness Week. The RSO held lectures all week on topics ranging from neuroeconomics and decision-making to altruism and brain development. This was Neuro's first annual Brain Awareness Week, and it hopes to educate the UChicago and Hyde Park community about neuroscience with future events.
Comedian Hannibal Buress came to campus Saturday night and performed at the Major Activity Board's Winter Comedy Show. Last year, the winter show was canceled due to budgetary restrictions. Burress's set brought the show back to life in a new location at the Cloister Club in Ida Noyes Hall. Burress is written for Saturday Night Live and 30 Rock and was featured on FX's Louie.
The Student Alumni Committee sponsored Philanthropy Week to support the Dean's Fund for Student Life. The Philanthropy Week events gave students the opportunity to share what they love about UChicago, such as supporting the Maroon basketball team, wearing school spirit wear, and answering trivia about the university, all while raising money for the Dean's Fund. Up next is our weekly UChicago segment, where we send reporters onto the field to hear from you. This week, I asked students, what is your favorite song?
My favorite song is On Top of the World, and it's just a really upbeat, happy song. Whenever I listen to it, it just puts me in a good place.
My favorite song is the extended version of Zac Brown's Free, with the violin introduction and a cover of Van Morrison's Into the Mystic, because it's kind of spiritual and uplifting. I like it.
My favorite song is Covered in the Rain by John Mayer, because I think it's trying to talk about the effects of 9/11 on the American society. I'm not American, but then it's still a nice song. And some people think he's but I think he's quite sensitive and seems like a nice guy.
My favorite song is probably First Day of My Life by Bright Eyes. And I think it's my favorite song because it's very uplifting. In some ways it's sort of solemn, but at the same time it kind of puts you in a good mood.
My favorite song is Punching in a Dream by The Naked and Famous, because it is very kind of mystical and reminds you to follow your dreams.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Maroon TV News. I'm Liz Stark.
And I'm Mike Basilio. Have a great week.